So with the out and back format this year, Atif Epica, the first checkpoint and the turnaround for the first distance is on Fraser Rd. And here we are at the turnaround point for the shorter distances and the checkpoint for the mid and longer distances. So here we are at the turnaround point for the medium distance in Atif Epica and one of the check stops for the long distance in Atif Epica. I'm going to take us on a tour on the way back now, just to take a look. For those of you who are not familiar with the prairies, this is what counts for a hill, a mountain, or a curvy road ahead. The prairies, the hard part isn't the hills. It's the 6 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours of wind. And as you ride across the prairies, this is kind of what you see, and it never seems to end. You can ride for 3, 4, 5 hours and you see the same thing. Having your GPS and having or a map or an odometer is really useful. Well, I guess I wasn't completely serious when I said that it's all prairie and it's all flat and that's all you'll see for hours and hours. There are creeks and ditches that do have some trees, so you will see these in places. So sometimes when you're riding down just a short section of these paved roads, you do need to cross. And in that case, make sure that you shoulder check and make sure that there's no cars coming. All right, we're on top of the dike around St. Adolphe, coming into the St. Adolphe checkpoint. You'll have been here before, so we're not going to spend much time. And now it's off to the university. Go. Remember, as you come to stop signs and highway crossings, to stop, check both directions for cars before you keep going. Here we are back on St. Mary's, just outside of St. Adolphe. It welcomed you when you were coming here. Now say goodbye. Here we go. Twin Creek Road, we're gonna make a corner here. Just across the Seine River diversion, just over there, is the world's largest snow maze. It is awesome. And if you're going really quick, you might want to stop and try out the maze while you're doing Atif Epica. But just a reminder, if at any point you leave the course, you have to re-enter the course where you left. On Twin Stump and turning onto Sud, make sure you don't overshoot. You'll wind up in Ile-des-Chênes instead of Winnipeg. It dead ends, and you have to turn one way or the other. So here, you're going to turn right and go up to Szczepanski. Just a little short dogleg. You know, just as a reminder, this is an ultra event. So be sure to stop and keep yourself hydrated and keep yourself reasonably well fed with some high energy foods. And most of all, enjoy yourself. Well, this year the middle distance will not have the pleasure of riding the Field or Crown Valley Road. But to make up for that, we get to do Szczepanski twice. Isn't that awesome? Now we're just north of Richardson on Szczepanski. I can actually see the city from here. It's great. Other than it's about this time that it's starting to get dark. And this don't let that hard-looking snow fool you. I spent this last almost kilometer doing a hike-a-bike. Well, I think those people that are veterans of Actif Epica will be in for a pleasant surprise. With the building of the new transmission line, there's been a lot of traffic along the floodway following the Crow Wing Trail. It's a nice ride. Well, we're coming to the end of the floodway. Just a reminder that you don't have to go back to Fraser Road, but the Crow Wing Trail goes down and under and through the floodway. Doesn't go over the bridge. Let's go have some fun. We've had a few glimpses of the Red River as we've been on this epic ride, and now we're crossing it. Back onto Turnbull Drive. So we've come off of Turnbull Drive, and we're coming and following down Pembina Highway. Just as a reminder that although this is designated as an active transport route, please be sensitive and aware of pedestrians as you're coming down the side here. We're now entering St. Norbert, back again from our long prairie ride. If you still have lots of energy and you want something a little different than riding across prairie, underneath Pembina Highway and into the woodland on the opposite side, there is a series of snow bike or fat bike trails through the bush. 5-6 kilometers. It might not be too bad. So as you can see, there are some city streets. We have to get back to the Forks somehow. A little bit through Fort Richmond, and then back to active transport trails. So here we are at the University of Manitoba. And here we are at the Active Living Center, the last checkpoint before the Forks.